I was blindsided when my girlfriend told me she needed space. "Don't contact me for a while," she wrote in a text. I respected it. I didn't call, I didn't message. Instead, I gave her the room she asked for. But just days later, while scrolling through Instagram, I saw her smiling on a beach, drink in hand, with her ex-boyfriend by her side. That was the moment something inside me clicked. She didn't want space. She wanted freedom to go on vacation with her ex while I sat here waiting like a fool. And I wasn't about to let myself stay the backup plan in my own apartment. So, Saturday morning, I called a locksmith. $250 later, the locks on my front door were brand new. Her key? Worthless. And then, the car. About half a year back, Laura's old car gave out completely. She needed something reliable for work, but her credit was a mess. I stepped in. I bought a solid used Mazda CX-5, put the title, loan, and insurance fully in my name, and let her use it under the deal she'd pay me back in installments. She made a few payments, but nothing consistent. Legally, it was mine. So I grabbed the spare key I had always kept, drove the Mazda straight to a dealership I trusted, and told them I wanted to sell. They inspected it, gave me a fair market estimate, $16,500, pending full checks. I signed the paperwork, left the car with them, and took an Uber home. When I got back, her parking space outside the apartment was empty. The locks were changed. Her clothes and personal items still sitting untouched in the spare bedroom closet. I wasn't throwing them out. Not yet. She wasn't walking back into my apartment, not after asking me for space and no contact. That was her rule, not mine. Oddly enough, I felt calm. It was like doing something unpleasant but necessary, like ripping off a bandage. Did it hurt? Of course. I felt like a fool, but logic was louder than emotion. She wanted space. She went on vacation with her ex. That told me all I needed to know. My job was simply to protect my home and what was mine. So I waited. I already knew from Instagram that her little island getaway was supposed to last another week. And I knew when she came back, her key wouldn't work. She showed up on a Tuesday night around 9 o'clock. I was on the couch watching television when I heard it, the rattle of keys, the scrape of metal in the lock. Then more scraping, faster, more desperate. Finally, pounding on the door. "Mark, what is going on? Open the door." Her voice. Annoyed, not scared. I opened the door just a crack, chain still on. She stood there with a suitcase, tanned, angry. "My key doesn't work. Did something happen to the lock?" "Yeah," I said evenly. "I changed it." Her eyes narrowed. "You what? Why would you do that?" "You asked for space and no contact, Laura," I said. "I gave you exactly that. Permanently." She tried to argue, but I cut her off. "I saw the photos. You and Ethan, arm in arm, cocktails, sunsets. That's not space. That's a vacation with your ex while keeping me parked here as backup." Her face shifted fast, from annoyed, to panicked, to furious. "That was just a trip. We're friends." "Friends?" I raised an eyebrow. "Friends who share romantic beach vacations while I'm told to stay quiet at home." She snapped, "Don't be ridiculous. Let me in. My things are in there. Where's my car?" She glanced at the empty parking spot like she was entitled to it. "Your car," I said calmly. "That was never your car. It was mine legally from day one. The dealership has it now. I'm selling it." Her jaw dropped. "You're selling it? You can't do that. I paid for that car." "No," I corrected her. "You made partial payments to me so you could drive it. But the loan, the title, the insurance, all mine. And the sale process is already moving forward." She screamed, "This is insane. You're stealing from me. I'm calling the police." She actually grabbed her phone. "Go ahead," I shrugged. Tell them your ex-boyfriend changed the locks on his own apartment after you told him not to contact you, and that he's selling the car that was only ever in his name. Let's see how that plays out." She froze, phone in hand, seething. Then another voice came up the walkway. Her sister Chloe, younger by a couple of years, had apparently been waiting in the car. "What's going on? Why can't Laura get in?" Laura turned on the tears instantly. "He changed the locks. He's selling my car. He's throwing me out." Chloe glared at me. "Are you serious, Mark? After everything she's done for you, you just kick her out?" "It's my apartment," I said firmly. "It was my car. She went on vacation with Ethan while I respected her request for silence. Look at her Instagram. This isn't me being cruel. She ended it. I just accepted it." Chloe shook her head. "She needed space. You're supposed to support her, not punish her." "Support her cheating on me?" I said. "No thanks. She made her choice. She can live with it." Laura demanded her belongings right then, at 9 at night. "Not happening," I said. "Send me a text with a date and time. I'll have your things boxed near the door. You won't be stepping past the entryway. You can't dictate this." Laura shouted. "I can," I replied. "My home, my rules. You wanted no contact, now this is the contact arrangement." And with that, I shut the door, locked it, and leaned against it for a moment. My hands were trembling, not from fear, but from adrenaline and relief. It was over, at least for now. Through the door, I heard them for another 5 minutes, Laura screaming, Chloe trying to play mediator but mostly fanning the flames. Then silence. They were gone. A couple of hours later, my phone buzzed. Not Laura this time, her sister Chloe. The message was short and sharp: "Laura needs her things tomorrow at 10 in the morning. Be ready." "No please, no thank you. Just an order." I answered with a simple, "Okay." Then I spent the evening pulling together everything Laura had left in my place. Clothes, makeup, bathroom stuff, random decorations, even the silly knickknacks she loved. I boxed it all and stacked the pile by the front door. Oddly enough, it felt good, almost like scrubbing dirt off a floor that had been dirty too long. Later that same week, the dealership called. They had finished the inspection on the Mazda. The final number was $16,350, slightly lower because of the tires. I drove down Friday, signed the title transfer paperwork, and walked out with the check. Went straight to the bank and deposited it. That felt like slamming the door on a chapter one never wanted to reread. But I knew the real test was coming, the pickup day. Wednesday morning, right on the dot at 10, came the knock. I opened the door and found not Laura, but Chloe and their mother, Deborah. Out in the parking lot, I could see Laura sitting in the car, too heartbroken to come upstairs. Right. Deborah wasted no time. Tears in her eyes, voice shaking, she said, "Mark, how could you do this to her? After 2 years, she loves you." I answered, apparently not enough to stay faithful. She went on vacation with her ex while telling me not to contact her. Deborah sniffled. It was a mistake. She was confused. You should forgive her. And selling her car, that was cruel. She needs that car for work. My car, Deborah, I said flatly. Bought in my name, loan in my name, insured in my name. She used it, yes, but she betrayed me. Actions have consequences. The car is sold. I opened the door wider, showing the boxes stacked in the entryway. Here's everything she left. Take it all now, because this is the only time. Deborah's nose wrinkled. We'll need to check the closets, the bathroom. No, I cut her off. Everything is here. I went through the whole place. You are not stepping further inside. They grumbled, clearly trying to find a way to push in, but it was not happening. So they started carrying boxes out. 3 trips, back and forth, while Deborah kept muttering about how cold I was, how Laura was shattered, and how I owed them money for the car. I just stood in the doorway, repeating the same line, "It was my car." Like a broken record. After they left, the text started again. This time from Laura herself. One moment she was pouring her heart out, "I miss you. I made a huge mistake. Please take me back." The next, she was full of rage, "You stole my car. That was my money. I'll take you to court." I ignored the emotional swings. To her demands I sent one message, "Laura, the car was legally mine. The payments you made covered the time you drove it. Consider it rent. That's the end of it." Then I blocked her. Blocked Chloe. Blocked Deborah. But the drama didn't stop. Suddenly, mutual friends I barely knew outside of Laura started messaging me. "Dude, I heard what you did. Selling her car. Locking her out. That's messed up." She was clearly spreading her side of the story, painting me as the villain. Of course she left out the part about the vacation with Ethan. I explained the facts to a couple of them I thought might listen. Some understood. Some swallowed her version whole. At that point, I decided I didn't care. People believe whatever fits their story. I knew Laura was spinning her version, but the next move caught me off guard. Yesterday, I got a call from my landlord's office. Someone had filed an anonymous complaint. According to them, there were disturbances and heated arguments coming from my unit. Supposedly shouting, concerns about confrontations. For a second, my stomach dropped. It was obvious, this was no random complaint. It was calculated. Luckily, I've always had a solid relationship with the building manager. I explained calmly, my ex-girlfriend, who was never on the lease, had recently moved out after asking for space. There had been one argument outside my door when she came back and realized the locks were changed. Her family also stopped by once to pick up her belongings, supervised. Other than that, there hadn't been a single disturbance inside my apartment. She was gone. Done. The manager seemed to understand, made a note, and told me unless there were new, verified complaints, nothing would come of it. That call told me everything I needed to know. It was Laura or her sister Chloe trying to stir trouble. A cheap shot. Then came the next one. A message request popped up on Instagram, from Ethan. I didn't open it. I just deleted it and blocked him right away. I had no interest in whatever he thought he needed to say. Probably some gloating or another attempt to mess with me. But the truth? Every one of these stunts just made me feel steadier in my decision. The complaints, the messages, the sob story, it was all just noise. If anything, it showed me this wasn't a one-time slip on Laura's part. This is who she is. And her sister Chloe, her mom Deborah, even Ethan, they're all part of it. Revenge wasn't me doing anything dramatic. Revenge was reality. And reality was simple. The apartment is mine, secure, with the locks changed. The car is gone, sold, and the money is legally mine. Her things are out of here. She and her family are blocked on every channel. Any future threats? Straight to a lawyer. I had already consulted one just to be safe. He looked over the situation and confirmed I was in the clear on both the car and the apartment. That was the final nail in it. Sure, the smear campaign hurt at first. Some mutuals cut me off, believing her side. But honestly, good riddance. Anyone willing to side with her without hearing the facts was never a real friend. My actual friends, the ones I had before Laura, were all still here. They saw what really happened. 2 months passed, and the storm finally started to fade. Then came one last flare-up. Laura must have scraped together some money and hired a bargain lawyer. I got a letter demanding $10,000 for her supposed contributions to the car and emotional distress. The letter was full of typos and nonsense. My lawyer sent back a clean, formal response. Attached were copies of the title, the loan, the insurance, all in my name. A note that her payments were considered usage, basically rent. And if anything, based on standard per mile costs, she actually owed money back. A bluff, but it made the point. We also included her original text asking for space and no contact, plus screenshots of her island vacation with Ethan. Case closed. After that last letter, it all went quiet. Her bargain lawyer must have finally told her the truth, she had no case. Without me funding her life, there was no way she could afford a real legal fight. And just like that, the noise stopped. Word trickled back through a mutual friend. Laura had moved in with Chloe, but that didn't last long. Turns out expecting your sister to bankroll your lifestyle while you contribute nothing, causes friction. Shocking, right? Ethan. Predictably gone the moment the vacation glow faded. He wanted a fling, not the fallout. She ended up crawling back to her parents' place. Complaining non-stop about how I ruined her life. Zero awareness. Zero accountability. Just pure entitlement wrapped in victimhood. Meanwhile, my life. Peaceful. My apartment feels like mine again. I even repainted the living room, tossed out the furniture she picked. Every stroke of the roller felt like reclaiming myself. And the car she treated like a status symbol while posting vacation selfies with someone else. Gone. Sold. That empty parking space waiting for her when she came back. That was the real punctuation mark. The consequence she never thought she'd face. In the end, I didn't scream, didn't chase, didn't plot. I just respected her request for space. Infinite space. And I let the natural consequences of her choices do the rest. She gambled with my trust. She lost everything that came with it. Goodbye, Laura. Good riddance. She asked for space, so I gave her all the space in the world. No more keys. No more car. No more me. She lost the comfort she thought was hers by right, because she forgot one thing. Trust isn't free. And that's how I walked away, lighter, stronger, and finally free. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe for more stories where actions meet their consequences.